They stole your power. They stole your mind. And worst of all, they stole your reality. They made you believe you were powerless, trapped in a system designed to keep you small, obedient, and unaware of the truth staring you right in the face. But you feel it, don't you? That nagging feeling in your gut, that something is off, that the world isn't what it seems, that you were meant for more. What if I told you that your thoughts shape reality? Not in some vague motivational way, but literally, scientifically. Quantum physics is beginning to prove what ancient civilizations already knew. Reality isn't fixed, it's fluid. And those who understand how it works can bend it to their will think about it. Have you ever noticed how the richest, most powerful people in the world seem to attract success effortlessly? How some people, no matter their circumstances, seem to rise while others struggle their entire lives? It's not luck. It's not privilege. It's a hidden principle, a forbidden law, that the elite have guarded for centuries. This knowledge has been erased from history books, ridiculed as pseudoscience, and hidden in plain sight. Why? Because if you knew the truth, you wouldn't need to work yourself into exhaustion. You wouldn't need to beg for scraps from a system designed to keep you in debt and under control. You wouldn't be a puppet. But here's the real question. Are you ready to see what they don't want you to see? Because once you do, there's no going back. Stay until the end of this video, and I'll show you exactly how to test this for yourself tonight. A method so simple yet so powerful that people who try it often see results within hours. But before we dive in, let me ask you, have you ever experienced a moment where reality glitched, where something felt too impossible to be a coincidence? Drop it in the comments, because the more we share these experiences, the more we uncover the truth that's been buried for far too long. They never wanted you to know this. For centuries, powerful institutions, governments, religious councils, corporate empires have worked tirelessly to keep this knowledge buried. They rewrote history, erased sacred texts, and ridiculed anyone who dared to speak the truth. Because once you understand the hidden law that shapes reality, you stop being a pawn. You stop obeying the script they wrote for you, and that terrifies them. Think about it. If the masses realized that their thoughts literally create their world, what would happen to the carefully structured control systems designed to keep them small? The debt cycle, the endless distractions, the fear-based narratives. None of it would hold power anymore. People wouldn't just wish for a better life, they would manifest it, and that is the greatest threat to those who sit at the top. This isn't just another self-help idea. This is the foundation of every ancient mystical tradition, hidden within texts like the Kybalion, the Emerald Tablets, and the Corpus Hermeticum. These writings reveal a universal law so powerful that even modern quantum physics is starting to confirm it. The universe is mental. Reality is shaped by thought. Ever wonder why billionaires, world leaders, and secret societies hoard knowledge while feeding the masses distractions? They know that your mind is the ultimate tool of creation, and while they keep you busy chasing status, money, and approval, they quietly apply these principles to bend reality in their favor. Look at the patterns. The wealthiest and most influential people in history, from Tesla to Einstein, from Steve Jobs to the financial elites, have all spoken about the power of focused intention, visualization, and thought energy. They operate on a level of reality, manipulation that most people will never access. Not because it's impossible, but because they've been conditioned to believe it's a fantasy. But it's not. And people who dare to test it often experience results so shocking that they question everything they once knew. Like Jack, a man who was drowning in debt until he stumbled upon an ancient principle hidden in the Emerald Tablets. With nothing left to lose, he decided to try a simple technique, spending 5 minutes each night visualizing a specific sum of money while feeling deep gratitude as if it had already arrived. 3 days later, he got a call. A distant relative he barely knew had left him an inheritance of $2,500. Coincidence? Maybe. But when Jack repeated the process for larger financial goals, unexpected opportunities kept appearing, out of nowhere. Or take Marcus, a college graduate, stuck in a dead-end job. He found a single phrase in the Kybalion. The all is mind. the universe is mental. He started experimenting. Every morning, he declared, "My mind creates new opportunities. I welcome them now." By day 4, a casual conversation with a coworker led to an offer at a high-paying startup. Within 2 weeks, he made the switch. Marcus calls it luck, but when you understand the deeper mechanics of reality, you know better. This isn't magic. This is the fundamental law that governs existence. Every thought sends out a frequency, shaping the events, people, and opportunities that come into your life. Most people live unconsciously, attracting chaos, fear, and struggle because that's what they focus on. Meanwhile, those who know how reality truly works use this knowledge deliberately. And it's not just about money. History is filled with stories of people who healed illnesses, built empires, and changed the course of their lives by tapping into this hidden law. Nikola Tesla himself said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." This is the knowledge that changes everything. It is the reason some people rise effortlessly, while others feel trapped in an endless cycle of struggle. It is the secret behind manifestation, the law of attraction, and the so-called miracles that defy logic. But here's the most important part. This knowledge only works if you apply it. If you dismiss it, you stay stuck in the same reality, following the same patterns, believing the same limitations that were installed in you by the system. But if you dare to test it, to shift your thoughts with precision and intention, you'll see for yourself that reality is not as rigid as you've been led to believe, and that's exactly what they fear. They told you reality is fixed. They told you life is random, that success is for the lucky, that some people are just born to struggle. But what if they were wrong? What if everything you've been taught about how the world works is a carefully crafted illusion designed to keep you blind to the greatest truth of all? Science is finally catching up to what ancient civilizations have known for centuries. Reality is not solid. It bends, it shifts, and the mind is the force that shapes it. Quantum physics is proving that your consciousness doesn't just observe reality, it creates it. Look at the observer effect, one of the most baffling discoveries in modern science. Researchers found that subatomic particles, the very building blocks of reality, change their behavior based on whether or not they are being observed. Let that sink in. The simple act of observation alters the outcome. Now, take that principle and scale it up. If particles behave differently when they are observed, what does that say about the world you live in? What does that say about the energy you radiate through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs? The answer is staggering. Your perception is shaping your world in real time, and the elite know this. Why do you think secret societies, ancient orders, and the wealthiest people on the planet study these principles behind closed doors? Because this is the key to power. While the masses are conditioned to believe in a rigid, unchangeable world, those at the top understand that reality is malleable. They don't react to the world, they command it, and they've left clues everywhere. Take the double-slit experiment, another quantum mystery that shattered the way scientists understood reality. When electrons pass through two slits in a barrier, they behave like waves, spreading out and interfering with each other. But the moment they are observed, they snap into particle form, taking on a definite position. In other words, the act of consciousness itself determines whether reality exists as infinite potential or a single fixed outcome. Do you see what this means? Your thoughts, your awareness, collapse reality into form. The energy you emit attracts or repels experiences, opportunities, and outcomes. You are literally shaping your world in ways you were never told. And now, the final piece of the puzzle: quantum entanglement. A phenomenon that Einstein called spooky action at a distance. When two particles become entangled, they remain instantly connected, no matter how far apart they are. Change the state of one, and the other instantly mirrors it. What does this tell us? That separation is an illusion, that everything is connected at a fundamental level. That energy, thought, and intention travel beyond the limits of time and space. This is why visualization, belief, and focused intention work, not as superstition but as scientific reality. The elite are not lucky. They are aware. They know that by controlling perception, they control reality. They use this knowledge to manipulate economies, steer world events, and engineer narratives that keep the masses believing in limitation. They don't just predict the future, they create it. But what happens when you wake up? What happens when you begin to apply these same principles with precision and intent? Everything shifts. Reality bends to match your frequency. And here's where it gets even deeper. This isn't just a theory. People who test these principles see results almost instantly. Have you ever had a moment where you intensely thought of someone, only to have them call or text you minutes later? Have you ever had a feeling that something was about to happen, and then it did? That's not coincidence. That's you bending reality without even realizing it. Now imagine what happens when you do it on purpose. What if, instead of letting your thoughts and emotions run on autopilot, you directed them like a laser toward the reality you want to experience? What if, instead of reacting to life, you designed it? People who understand this law shift their lives in ways that seem impossible to those still trapped in the illusion of randomness. The ones who reject this knowledge continue struggling, convinced that life is unfair, that wealth is reserved for the few, that suffering is just part of the human condition. But those who embrace it, they step into a reality where success is not chased, it's attracted. Where obstacles don't stop them, they dissolve. Where limitations don't exist, because they know the mind is the architect of all things. And the best part? You don't need to take anyone's word for it. You can test it, right now. Before you go to bed tonight, try this simple challenge. Visualize something specific, a sum of money, an unexpected gift, a sign from the universe. Feel the emotions as if it's already yours, then let it go. They don't want you to see it. But once you do, there's no going back. Because the moment you realize that reality isn't something happening to you, but something being shaped by you, everything changes. The way you see your past, the way you navigate your present, and most importantly, the way you create your future. For centuries, they've kept you distracted, feeding you fear, doubt, and scarcity. They conditioned you to believe that life is struggle, that success is rare, that miracles are just coincidences. But deep down, something in you knows that's not the whole story, and now it's time to prove it. The truth is, you are already influencing reality with every thought, every belief, every emotion you hold. Most people just do it unconsciously. They focus on problems and more problems appear. They expect failure and failure finds them. They assume life is unfair, and life reflects that belief back to them like a mirror. But those who understand this law, those who use it deliberately, shift their world in ways that seem impossible to the untrained mind. Take the financial elite. While most people stress over bills, economic downturns, and unstable markets, the ultra-wealthy play by different rules. They know that wealth isn't chased, it's attracted. They don't just invest in assets, they invest in belief systems that ensure they stay in control. And it's not just money. Look at those who recover from incurable diseases, who defy the odds, who rise from nothing to achieve the impossible. They aren't just lucky, they are tuned in. They operate from a different frequency, a frequency that aligns with the reality they choose to live in. And whether they learned it from ancient knowledge, personal experience, or simple intuition, the principle remains the same. Your internal world dictates your external world. Always. But here's where most people fail. They hear this truth, they get inspired, but then they hesitate. They let old conditioning creep back in. They let their past dictate their future. And just like that, the cycle continues. But not this time. Because if you've made it this far, it means you're ready to break that cycle. So here's what you need to do next. Tonight, before you sleep, test this law for yourself. Choose something small but specific, a sum of money, an unexpected message, a strange coincidence. Close your eyes and imagine it as if it's already done. Feel the gratitude, the excitement, the certainty that it's already yours. And then, let it go. Tomorrow, stay alert. Watch how reality responds. Because once you see how fast the shift happens, once you witness this power in action, you'll realize that the only thing that ever stood between you and a limitless life was the illusion that you had no control. And that illusion ends now. They will try to convince you that this is just a coincidence, that your thoughts are nothing more than fleeting ideas with no real impact, that your desires, your ambitions, your dreams are bound by the limitations they programmed into you. But after tonight, you will know the truth. And once you know, you can never unsee it. This is not theory. This is not wishful thinking. This is the same knowledge that the world's most powerful individuals have used for centuries. The same principles that have shaped empires, controlled economies, and dictated the course of history. They don't teach this in schools. They don't talk about it in the media, because if you knew, truly knew, how reality works, their control over you would dissolve instantly. But now, it's your turn. Tonight, you have a choice. You can ignore everything you've learned, dismiss it as fantasy, and go back to the life you've always known. Or you can test it. Right now, you can take back the power that was always yours, buried beneath years of conditioning and doubt. Here's how. Before you sleep tonight, choose one specific thing you want to see manifest. In the next 24 hours, it could be an unexpected message, a small sum of money, a surprising opportunity, or even a random act of kindness. It doesn't matter what it is, only that it's specific enough for you to recognize when it happens. Now close your eyes and visualize it as if it's already done. Feel it, not just as a thought, but as a certainty. Allow yourself to experience the gratitude, the excitement, the relief as though it has already happened. Let that feeling sink into your very being. Hold on to it for just a few minutes, then release it. Let it go with absolute faith, knowing that reality is already rearranging itself to match the frequency of your desire. And then, pay attention. Over the next 24 hours, watch how the universe responds. Look for signs, synchronicities, and small shifts that confirm what you've just set in motion. Some of you will see results almost instantly. Others may need to refine their focus, to break through years of disbelief before the shift becomes undeniable. But once you see it happen, even in the smallest way, you will never doubt again. If you're ready to break free from the illusion of limitation, if you're ready to see reality bend in ways you never imagined, comment below with one word: awake. Let the world know that you are stepping into your power. And if something happens, if your reality shifts in the next 24 hours, come back and share your experience. Because the more we expose the truth, the harder it becomes to suppress. They tried to erase this knowledge, to keep it locked away for the few. But we are resurrecting it, right here, right now. And the only question that remains is, what will you create next?